You also went on the Jimmy Fallon show, which is fantastic.
Yeah, man. He just played my song and he actually told people to not play my song.
Meaning?
Yeah, he was like, don't play this song. So there's this segment on his show called Do Not Play. So he picks songs from around the world to make fun of it. But not in a serious make fun.
Yeah,
but it's like, cheeky.
Yeah.
So he picked my song. I don't know how that happened. Somebody sent him my song Mami.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard Mami, but there's one section of the song that I purposely did it like that so that people might,
Pick it up. Yeah.
So it just goes like Mami, 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 all the way for like, I don't know how many times. It's just a lot. But it's dope though. Like, you should check it out.
Yeah.
I think it's dope. Put it out. Somebody sent the song to him. He picked it up and he played it on his show. He was like, Singaporean rapper, young, the whole thing. So he gave me a proper mention and shout out. And he told everybody to not play my song.
Yeah. So it became popular overnight.
But immediately what everybody did, they played my song.
Yeah.
So
just kidding.
You say the most out-of-pocket shit, bro.
Okay. Now, as you know, I'm a lover of opera, and so this is going to be hard for me, because I ain't no rapper. No, but this is a great honor to have a young man. He's 28 years old, and he's already hitting the charts. He's famous all over the world. Born in Singapore.
Yes.
So he's a Singaporean. We'll get the Singapore accent in a few seconds.
A little bit.
And of Tamil descent, so he's got Indianness as well. And a rapper who's worked with some of the biggest names in the business already at such a young age. Young Raja is his name. It's pronounced Young.
You can call me Young, Raja, whichever works.
But Young G, because now you're in India, so I have to show
Young
respect.
G.
Young GG.
That's kind of cool. I could be Young G from today.
Young G.
Hey.
If you go towards the north of India, you'll start getting this Young G and all that.
Really?
You'll have to do it. And as you get older, it'll be horrible for you.
Wow.
You'll be touching your feet all the time for no reason.
Damn.
Yeah.
A lot of people in India call me Young. I find that interesting. Because back home, back home they call me like Raja or like Young Raja or something.
Yeah.
But I realized that in India, I get called Young more than any other city.
I didn't know what to, because I don't know how seriously you take these names. Right? I know your real name is Rajib,
Rajib,
which is a regular name, and then, but I don't know, look at 50 Cent, somebody you worked with. It's something else, right? Curtis or
I think he's called Curtis Jackson.
Curtis Jackson, right?
Yeah.
So what if one was his friend? What do you call him in just a conversation?
50 Cent,
Probably.
I'm probably close friends know him by Curtis. I'm sure. Like I'm Rajit. So many friends.
What
call
if
me
you're
Rajit.
a woman making love to him? You say, "Come on, Curtis," or you say, "Come on, Fiddy."
I don't want to know that.
But these are important
I'm
questions.
curious though.
Young, these are important questions, Young G. All right,
so 50 Cent, bro, he's a legend, man.
He's fantastic.
I watched him live last year, November was it? He came to Bombay, no?
You performed.
I was
come on,
on the
don't
same.
sell yourself short.
I opened for him.
Yeah.
But I got to watch his set. Turned into a little boy. He was insane, man. It was one of the most.
He's like two generations of rap and still surviving.
It was emotional for me because he's the first rapper that kind of. One of the first three rappers that I heard that opened my eyes to the world of hip hop.
Who were the other two?
Eminem, Snoop Dogg.
Okay, so who's the greatest of all time?
Greatest of all time? Oh my God, that's a tricky conversation.
I think 50 Cent says Eminem.
50 Cent says Eminem, yes. I would say Kendrick Lamar. I think he has surpassed a lot. I mean, initially it was Notorious B.I.G. for me. I don't know whether you know this.
Yeah.
He from the 90s. It's interesting for me because my family is from India. So everybody, like all of my family members. Do you know
where you're from in India? Do you
my dad was born and raised in Arandangi, Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
I think it's about 1.5 hours from Trichy.
You been there?
I've been there. Several times. Growing up. First time
Typical
I went
Indian, trying to find his land and all, arguing with the relatives.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little distant. Like, I see my parents and my sisters all going through that kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
I felt a little disconnected from that because I'm born and raised in Singapore. So I was kind of like sheltered from their lives.
It's got a strong Tamil population. I've been there quite a few times.
Actually, in fact, it's the only city in the world, if I'm not wrong, outside of India, that recognizes Tamil as an official language.
It is. One of the 4 languages is Tamil. And you have your own channel, I remember watching.
Yeah, Vasandam channel.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Vasandam channel. I grew up watching that.
Hey, by the way, you were on one of... did you start working, before you became a rapper, as a young kid, you were working in TV?
Yeah, man. Actually, I started at 12 years old. That was the first entry that I had into the world of showbiz or entertainment or whatever you want to call it. But my first dream was, I want to become an actor.
How did that happen? Because I'm presuming that...
I was very pampered, man. Like I grew up in a household.
Beautiful story.
Bro, I'm
Indian
the only
male who's pampered. I
bro.
feel like crying.
No, I know we are pampered, but you got to hear me out.
Yes, sir.
It was a different level of pampering
You were
for me.
pampered ka baap, as
I
we
have
say.
3 elder sisters.
Oh.
My mom had me after 18 years.
What?
She wanted a son. Like
There's a gap.
18 years from my first sister. She kept trying for a son, and she wanted a son so bad. And she was 40 years old when she had me. And I grew up in an environment in my household
So
where I
your
have 3
sisters are
elder
like
sisters.
aunts in a way.
Yeah, they were all teenagers. So they were it's 18, 15, 11 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
My late grandmother, my mom. So it was a matriarchal house.
Okay.
My dad would come in and out, like, he's working, typical Indian father trying to support the family, all that. But it was insane to grow up in a household that was so matriarchal.
5 women.
Bro. And the kind of love and support that I had, that's the foundation.
So you need more than one wife. The way I see it is, one wife won't cut it. This guy needs help. You need
Come
at
on,
least
man.
3 wives, 2 girlfriends,
It's too-
and
it's
one
too
neighbor,
much of a
Mrs.
headache.
Sharma. Who's always available. Wink, wink. Yeah.
One is enough for me, man.
Yeah. One is enough, is it?
One is enough.
God,
So
that's- sorry.
my dad my mom has always been like supportive and very loving and very interested in what I want to do, what I'm like.
Mm-hmm.
So they were never in the way of my passions, let's put it that way. So when I was like 5-6 years old, I would watch all these Rajinikanth movies, like Taliban movies.
The God.
The God, the
Yeah.
GOAT, my guru,
I mean,
bro.
talk about Curtis Jackson and all these guys surviving 2-3 generations. Look at Rajinikanth. I mean, he's from
Bro, shout out to Rajinikanth.
4 decades,
Bro,
king.
Shout out to
Still
him.
the king.
Vetayan just came out.
Yeah.
It's in cinemas now. So Taliban Day was yesterday.
Bro, can I tell you what
Yes.
I'm not Tamil speaking, but, because we are Indian, so we watch the films and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen him at the airport on 2 occasions in
Really?
Chennai. Bro, he's so, unaffected. Okay, firstly, everything, I'm just getting out, trying to get my bag, and then suddenly there's nobody next to me.
Oh.
Because, the entire airport went because Rajinikanth has come, right? Everybody went, including foreigners. Everybody went there. And then this guy, he's not even wearing a wig. He's wearing chappals. When you actually get to see him, he's so unaffected. I just loved him. I was like, this is the guy, man.
He's incredible, man.
The real rock stars, they don't give a flying F. They
Yeah.
just, this is it.
Yeah.
There was no touch up, no trying to look like a shiny, matinee idol. Nothing, just a regular guy.
And it's mind blowing for me because he's that big.
Yeah.
And his movies were so important. Like, they're so important for any 90s kids that grew up with his
And
films.
beyond.
And beyond, right?
Yeah.
So I would watch his films growing up. So fascinated by his swag and style. Just can't stop watching it, right? I watched Padayappa 100 times.
Can you do the secret thing?
I can't do the secret thing.
can't do the secret thing?
But I used to practice the shades.
The glass,
thing.
can you do that? Let's try.
Can I do that?
Yo!
Hey, camera rolling?
Oh, yeah!
Bro, listen, I practiced all my childhood for this moment.
Let's watch. Not bad. Not bad.
I could do it a little smoother, but hey.
Yeah, a little faster would be great. But yeah, listen.
But nobody can do it like Taliban though.
Yeah.
But I would watch his films and just be so fascinated, and I would tell my dad like, "Hey, I want to be like this guy one day. Like, I want to be in a movie or something." So my parents knew it when I was very
But you're
young.
5.
5,
But
6.
all kids say things like that.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, who takes it further?
Yeah, exactly. But I guess my parents realized that I was a little bit odd like that because I would
Were you
always,
like a performer? Always wanting
Like-
attention beyond normal?
my sisters would dress me up, give me
Well, that could go many ways.
bro, it
they
could have gone many ways,
Yeah.
but thank God it manifested like this. No, they would dress me up in
Yeah.
a sense where, I mean, they've put me in a dress for sure. But
Are you
like,
serious?
They have. I've baby photos of me in a
Oh
dress.
God, I wish you had brought the picture. Oh, that would be
Bro,
so cute.
like,
Mom wanted a son, they wanted another sister. Yeah.
But what that foundation did for me is that it formed a very special relationship with fashion and expression, and I was just different, man. I was a different kid. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid of raising my hand, going speaking in front of a class.
So you were expressive in a sense.
I was expressive
That's a good
in
point,
a sense.
actually.
Because of the foundation that I had. Because when I look at my relatives, my cousins, that had very strict Indian parents,
Yeah, they're shy, they're inhibited. Yeah.
you can tell that they are so they're not sure of who they are, and
This is a
they
very
don't
good-
get the
That's
opportunity
a
to
fantastic
express.
point you brought up.
It's-
about
it's
us, this is
facts.
an Indian thing.
It's an Indian thing,
where
bro. It's
we
a
are
culture,
so
no?
conservatively raised that you don't get out of your personality only.
You never do.
Yeah.
You look at all, bro. It's a generational thing, no? It's a cultural thing,
Yeah.
and it's generational. And
Yeah.
it's going to take some time for us to move out of that. But
Yeah.
I feel like today's day and age is great because people are exposed, because of
But
internet.
there's the other end of that, I remember we had a neighbor who would like their child to sing for us all the time. That was horrible.
Wait, what?
Like
oh,
he would just bring just normal pop songs, but now Shefali will sing. And we're like, oh God, no. I mean, just make sure. And Shefali wasn't that gifted, so we just have to listen. So you do have the odd parent who's very pushy. That could be terrible too.
Yeah, man. So that's why I talk about my childhood and my upbringing, because that is the most important topic here, because that laid the foundation correctly. And I'm so grateful for my parents for the fact that they shaped it that way. So when I was 12 years old, my mom was like, son, you should try acting. Like she saw this advertisement on TV, like open casting call for a TV drama called Fighting Spiders. I think I was 12 or 13 years old.
Yeah.
She was like, son, you should go try for this. Just go. What do you have to lose, right? I was like, yeah, sure. There was about 1,000 people that turned up for an open casting call. No ethnic or age restrictions.
Okay,
open. So,
that's what it means.
Yeah,
okay.
Everybody can go. And it was held in a shopping mall, and it was for a local drama, a TV show. And I'm like, what? TV? I want to be on TV. Let's go. I pulled up to this audition, and they chose 10 people out of the 1,000 people. And I was one of the 10. And that got me in that show. I was playing a small character, bro. That's at the back. Like it's not even a proper role or anything.
A minor
I had
character. Yeah.
one line. I had one line.
What was the line?
Hey, there's cockroach in my soya bean. That was the line. Was the line.
For me, national award. That's a huge line.
It changed everything for me because I was on set.
I don't want to sound racist, but is there like an Indian touch to that? Because this is something you listen in an Indian household again.
Yeah. Which one?
Cockroach in the soya bean.
Oh, no,
it's our people who have these problems. Not so much Singapore.
No, it's actually, the drama was set in 1940s. So it's kampong, like a village time in Singapore. So it was a very interesting TV show. Actually, it's one of the most popular TV series that have come out in Singapore, from Singapore. But I was on set as an extra. The director looked at these bunch of kids that were newly casted to be on the show, including me. And he's looking at all these kids and he's like, you come here. Like he randomly picked me out. I want you to say this line. And that moment, man, when I said the line and they were shooting me and it was like, okay, take, great, all right, action, all of that. I fell in love. I was so in love with it. I was like, me being raised the way I was raised, me then being on a set with hundreds of people, maybe, I was so at home and I felt so comfortable. I was talking to everybody and all these other kids were so intimidated, but I was not. And I knew instantly that this is something that I truly feel for. And that started an 7 to 8 year, I spent like freelance acting just while I was still in school. So I'll do all these ads and movies.
So you were popular with the schoolmates and all that?
Not really, because all the gigs that I was doing, I mean, I'm a Tamil boy from Singapore. It's so many different shows that's happening. Like when you're looking for opportunities, there's only that much, like I felt like I did all the roles. Like,
but your classmates must have seen some of that.
Yeah, they definitely saw. But I never had a big break or anything like that, Like I did a couple of KFC commercials. I was in a Chinese movie. I was playing, I was in a crime
so do you
TV show.
Do you speak Cantonese as well or Mandarin?
Oh, no. I spoke English. I can't speak Chinese. Only English and Tamil. But you know what I mean? Is all these small token roles, like here and there.
Yeah.
Like I'm at the corner of the frame. I had a couple of lead roles in like TV shows and whatnot, but it wasn't anything crazy. But from the time I was young, I had big dreams, like huge aspirations. Like I was walking around in school telling all my friends, like, I'm going to be the biggest, I'm going to be the best, like, actor from Singapore. I would say things like that at 13 years old, like, and people used to bully me for that. This guy thinks he's some fucking And I used to get pushed around and bullied. And I didn't really enjoy school.
But did you do like the school plays and stuff, all the usual?
I didn't do any of that. And I was like, I'm on TV, Like, I don't do no fucking
You can't come down. You can't come down. You already hit the big time. Yeah.
So I was like over the moon, man. And I was a kid that was struggling a lot with like confidence and like self-esteem issues. And it validated me, It made me feel like, wow, like this is my superpower. I'm going to become a star. Like, and I spent 8 years doing that. And I thought that I was going to continue on and just see where that goes in the field of acting. My best friend, Faris Jabba. I have to mention him because he's one of the most important people.
Is he a rapper as well?
He's a rapper as well.
Yeah.
And he's the guy that planted that idea in my mind. He was like, hey, I've heard you rap. Like, you can rap. Keep in mind that all my life, from the time I was 9 years old, I've been a passionate
That was
fan.
your thing.
Passionate.
Where did that come from, bud? Coming from
10 years old.
Were your sisters into it?
Nobody was into it.
So where does it come from?
Funny story. I took my sister's Walkman to school, pressed play, and the first song that I heard on some random CD that her friend gifted her or something was an Eminem song with the real Slim Shady. And I was like, what is this? First time I'm hearing something from the English world,
Right.
American hip hop.
Right.
Don't even talk about American hip hop, just something English. Like, I was so sheltered. I grew up in such a traditional South Indian household that my concept of entertainment was all Tamil stuff, right?
Was it?
Yeah.
So no English, no Western music?
No, I didn't have any exposure to
What about
anything Western.
the sisters?
They probably had, but they were much older, so I didn't know what kind of
But you
life
tend to-
they were living.
Okay.
But she had a Walkman, She always was listening to her Walkman.
Right.
So I took it to school without her knowledge one day. And I pressed play, and the first song that I heard was a rap song. And it just stuck with me, man. Like, the 808s and how a rap song, like a hip-hop song sounds. Dr. Dre was the producer for those records that I heard. And I fell in love. I was like, wow. And it stuck with me, and it was something that was very personal to me because I'm a Tamil kid listening to Lil Wayne and Kanye West. There was nobody in my school, nobody, even in my extended relatives,
Really?
family, that I could see eye to eye and be like, hey, do you also
But I
like
thought your
hip-hop? Like,
generation was all into hip hop.
unfortunate. I guess definitely that would have been the case, but maybe for my positioning, let's say, like that place and that time, I just didn't have anybody that I could connect with with my love and my passion for hip hop. So I kept it very personal, and I felt like I can't share it out because I felt like nobody would understand it. Everybody around me liked different things.
That's amazing. I thought it'd be the opposite. The guy who doesn't like rap or hip hop is the guy who keeps his mouth shut because he's listening to Beethoven on the side or something, and he's feeling that's amazing what you're saying.
Because I grew up I was raised so traditionally.
Is this
bro.
like all the Tam community is like that everybody's only into Tamil music and
I mean, I guess when you have such a strong connection to your identity and you are raised in a certain way, in a certain culture, you are a certain way, And I was a typical Tamil boy watching Sun TV and listening to only
Sun TV.
Sun TV every day,
excellent.
bro. Like Sun TV, bro. My mom watches Sun TV. You have to understand, my family, they moved from India to Singapore. They didn't change themselves, not even 1%.
Almost first generation thing.
So by the time I was born, the household that I was being raised in was Indian, like it is as good as his Tanjavur,
Yeah.
But when I leave the house, when I go to school, now I'm having a Singaporean experience.
But you have a proper Singapore accent though.
Yes, you can
That's
identify.
there.
Yeah, definitely. Born and raised,
Yeah.
So that was interesting because as a Tamilian boy, getting exposed to these different cultures, different worlds of influences, was a jarring experience, and it was a little bit of an isolating experience because I just didn't find anybody in my circle or in my family that I could connect with. So I kept it very personal and private. Like, this is my thing. I will enjoy it, and
But
I
you were
won't share it with
identifying with
nobody.
it despite everything. You were identifying with this form of music.
Yeah.
And these new artists that you
I
listened
loved
to.
it. I
Yeah.
couldn't stop listening to it, but I couldn't understand why I love it.
What about the
is the
lyrics?
reason? Yeah, I would listen to all these lyrics and I'm like, oh my god, it's bad words, like
Yeah.
explicit language.
And-
like my mom would scold, like
Oh,
I
you
would
played
be
loud?
scared. No, earpiece.
But
But
you
in
did-
my mind, I'm thinking like, oh shit, I can't let them know that I'm listening to all of this because
Yeah.
I'm sure they would scold me or something. So that was also one of the reasons why I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you, but I'm listening.
What's
to
with the bad language though?
I don't know, man. I don't
It's
know.
more an American thing.
Yeah, it is. It
Huh?
is an American hip hop thing. But
Yeah.
can you imagine, like, bro, you won't believe this. The first time I heard that Eminem record, right, I had cold sweat. Because I heard him say "fuck da 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 da" something he was saying in that song. I was like, shit. Like, am I listening to something I'm not supposed to listen to?
Or is this guy really angry and wants to start a war or something? It sounds like
Yeah, so it made such an impact, and I was like, okay, I don't understand what this is, but I'm in love. And that was my life that started at almost 10 years. I was so connected to the world of
But you
hip-hop.
found this one guy, your best friend.
My best friend, Faris Jabba, that I met on a movie set.
Oh, okay.
on a movie
So you're
set.
not in school together.
We didn't go to school together. We met at this audition for a
This
movie.
is like a silent society that you have on the side going, you know?
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I met him on this movie set. We did this Chinese movie in Singapore called Our Boys to Men. We both played small roles, but we spent a lot of time. And he was the first person that I met in my whole life that loved hip hop as much as I love hip hop. And the friendship was so beautiful because I've never had a friend like that, right? I feel so deeply passionate about hip hop, and he was exactly like me. I'm like, wow, you're my twin brother. Like, where have you been? And we connected so well. And he was like, we should actually rap. Like, man, and not many people are rapping in Southeast Asia or Singapore. Like, why not we try? I'm sure we can make something out of it. We could at least attempt. Let's see where it goes. And I was not entertaining that idea at all because I'm like, bro, what nonsense, man. I've been spending so many years acting, and I'm so committed to this dream. I'm not going to just give up. He's like, bro, trust me. Just give it a shot. Just try rapping with me. Just let's try it.
But you guys
once.
were rapping as you're listening to Eminem and all these greats, and you're
rapping along.
You're rapping along,
Yeah.
but you're not doing your own stuff yet.
No, not yet.
So how does he know you're going to be good at it?
So he's like,
Is-
let's try writing our own lyrics and let's try finding our own style. Like, let's attempt at trying to become a singer, songwriter, rapper, like an artist like
Find
that.
your own voice.
Find your own voice, exactly. But I was so scared, and we didn't know what we were doing. But that night, we both wrote and recorded ourselves rapping. We just put the phone on the desk, and then we're just like, my name is Tambi Raja. I don't know what I wrote, but I wrote in Tamil and English. He
Yeah.
wrote in Malay and English,
Yeah.
and that is a very uniquely Singaporean thing because everybody is bilingual like that. Because you grow up
Your home
going to
language
school.
and your
So in
whatever.
school
Yeah.
you have English. Everybody speaks English as first language, and then your second language in school. You got to go to your mother tongue class.
Yeah.
So whatever ethnic group you're from, whatever language you speak, you just go to your Chinese class or Tamil class or Malay class. So everybody's bilingual like that. Deeply embedded. Bilingualism is deeply embedded into Singaporean. So when we wrote that rap, it naturally just like it felt natural
So
for
it's
us
like
to write.
introductory rap. You were just talking about yourself, right?
Just like a 16 lines of us just writing a verse, and
Yeah.
we recorded and we just posted it on Twitter, like
Oh.
X.
You put it in the universe.
We just posted it like
Yeah.
fuck it, like we're just having fun. Two of us just sitting there and rapping, and that video went viral. It started trending in Singapore and
Immediately.
Malaysia. That same night,
Wow.
3 hours after we posted, it was trending. It had like 7,000 retweets, and people were like, "What is this? Where are these guys from?" Da da da. And next thing you know, we are meeting producers. Record labels is hitting us up. People are calling us for their rap show.
So
And I'm
bottom
like,
line, there was a
"What?"
market.
Yeah, it just, I guess, right place, right time. It's amazing, man. I get goosebumps when I talk about this because the universe works in so,
Yeah.
it's just so mysterious how it operates. I would have never imagined growing up that one day I'm going to be like a rapper, being on stage, holding a microphone. That was never in my mind. But it's insane how the dreams and the goals that I had, although I had them in the frame of I want to achieve these things as an actor, now that outfit has changed too. I'm a rapper, but the dreams and
it's in the same
aspirations,
space.
It's still the same
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
So I just find it so fascinating.
Also, you manifested it. You said
I
in a cocky way, you
manifested.
kept telling people, I'm going to be the best.
Bro, I am
Even without a
telling you-
plan. Without a plan, you just kept saying that.
I
Yeah.
swear on my life, you won't believe this. Everything that I have right now, everything that I've experienced in my life till date, I feel like I manifested it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only person I can relate to are politicians who very often say, I'm going to be the greatest, I'm going to be the best, and do nothing for humanity, and then just become whatever they become. So that's one thing you can look up to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I used to have a journal where it was a manifestation journal. And every day I would write.
This is how old?
This is 17.
Okay.
17, 18. I even wrote myself a check of $1 million US dollars. Like, this only happened because I saw this documentary called The Secret. Have you heard about this?
Is it that Australian writer thingy?
Yes, it's I forgot his name, but it's one of the most popular, best-selling books of all time.
Yeah.
It's like there.
You auto-suggest sort of thing. Yeah.
It's one of those where they talk about the law of attraction. They talk about vibrations. It's like how your thoughts have a specific frequency. Like you can be angry right now, and I can feel it. How do I feel it? Without you
To be
opening
honest,
your
I'm
mouth.
a little horny right now, but it's not you. it's not you.
Fuck,
So don't
man.
worry. Don't worry, bro.
Shit.
I'm sorry. Once you cross 50, you have no control over your body. Things, and I pee at the wrong time. I don't even know. It's like my body doesn't tell me I'm peeing. Suddenly I'm peeing. It's
Bro,
like that.
you are wild, man.
You don't have no idea what age will do to you. Just keep rapping because your whole your
Bro, you're
voice will
Did
change.
you just say you're 50?
I'm 53.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
You
And
look good,
today I
man.
dumbbell pressed 120 pound dumbbells in each
Bro,
hand. I
that's
almost cleaned
crazy.
them. See, you're a big rapper.
That's crazy.
You got that. All I got is this.
That's
So I
crazy.
Talk about it. Yeah,
Bro.
yeah.
Congratulations, man. You
Thank
look
you.
great for.
Thank you.
53. That's
You
amazing.
should see me with my clothes off. 73. Yeah. So let's get back to your story. So,
Yes.
so you're 17. You've written yourself a check because of the book that you read, kind of thing.
Yeah, so somebody put me on to this, The Secret, and I watched that documentary. It's on Netflix, and I read the book. It's called The Secret, and they talked about law of attraction. They talked about manifestation. They talked about how the key concept is what we think we become.
We become, yeah.
Essentially, that's the concept, right?
Those who wholeheartedly believe.
Wholeheartedly.
Thing is,
So-
many people believe, but they're not taking it seriously.
Yeah. It's like you believe, but then you have all these fears and all these insecurities and all these doubts that overpower, right? So it was crazy because this concept of manifestation, this concept of gratitude, concept of vibrations of like your feelings and thoughts having a certain frequency was mind-blowing for me because it started to me, it felt like, okay, I'm not happy right now. I'm not happy with where I'm at in life right now. What can I do that helps me see this differently? Because I come from a middle class household, typical Indian household. How do you think different in an environment like that? Like, the path is laid out for you. All of my cousins are into like their family businesses. They graduate, they get married.
This is more Indian thing than, again, more than
very
other cultures.
Indian thing, no?
That, as you said, the path is just laid out for you. And I feel really bad because there may be other rappers or artists who don't become artists because they're just forced into this line of work.
For sure,
Yeah.
But I'm so blessed, bro, that I had I have the kind of upbringing that
But were
I
your
had.
sisters blessed?
My sisters were definitely blessed.
Did they also
man.
get to do their own thing? Or
No, they, I
are
don't
they
think
doctors,
did.
lawyers, engineers, and the
They
works?
definitely took the more
So
obvious
you're
path.
more blessed than you think. Because you're
Exactly.
the one that everybody else is looking forward to.
Exactly. So my
changing
sisters
the-
made that sacrifice, Like I'm standing on their shoulders right now. It's because of their sacrifices I get to do, or I get to have this space in life where
Yeah.
I get to do what I love. I'm sure they also had their own passions, but maybe they didn't have the opportunity or the circumstances to pursue it. But I was given that. I was given that freedom to express, the freedom to pursue, the freedom to go and find out what it is. What is your passion? Where is your passion trying to bring you, right? My parents gave me
What
that.
do you think you would have done if you didn't get into this? If this manifestation didn't
I
happen?
don't know, man, bro. I probably would have become a money changer or like maybe open a business.
You'd be like a FedEx.
Like
the-
all my cousins.
And you still be rapping. So
Might be rapping
in your
like-
little community. They'll all say, Raja, he's got a great voice.
Yeah,
He should have
rap
been
for
a
my family
rapper, but shit happens. Gotta pay
my
bills.
God, I'm so happy we're
Yeah.
talking about this because
Yeah.
that's such a common experience, no? We see that every day.
Yeah.
We see that every day. So me being given this very unique path and me realizing at a young age, like, oh shit, I look around and I'm realizing that none of my cousins, none of my family members were given this opportunity, were blessed like this. So thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you for my parents. Thank you, Amata. Thank you for allowing me to live this way. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to see life this way, right? So I understood that concept at a young age. So around that time when I read The Secret and they're talking about manifestation and law of attraction and putting out in the universe, like, oh, you want to drive this car? Think about the steering wheel. Think about holding the steering wheel. You want to wear a Rolex? Think about how it feels on your wrist. I'm like, whoa, what are
You
these
want to have
concepts?
a beautiful woman, get rid of your wife. But that's not in the book. That book is different. I'm sorry,
I don't want to
brother.
read that book.
Bro, you're young and full of, hope and positivity. I'm cynical and dying here. So,
I love
it's
it.
difficult. Our rap
Hey.
songs are going to be a little different.
I love it. I think
Yeah.
that creates a nice balance. You know?
It does. It does.
But it was polarizing for me, like for a pretty traditional, normal Tamil boy.
So what do the parents say?
I didn't share this. I don't think they know about.
They didn't know you were
this.
rapping.
Oh no, yes.
Or they didn't take it seriously as in that's not...
When I started rapping,
Yeah.
I think nobody understood. Nobody around me understood what is it that I'm trying to do, because I'm in the studio all night. I'm in the club. I'm trying to like stay
Was
in
some
the
money
music
coming
space,
in?
For about
Were you getting some money?
a year I wasn't getting any money for the first year. It was tough, man. It was tough trying to get to a point
But
where
you were getting popular.
Yeah, there was some buzz, there was some noise, but it wasn't until that noise translated into certain very specific dots connecting. Like, for example, me getting signed to a label, or me getting booked for a show. Like from
But
the
how does
time,
that happen?
It took some time, bro. It was about 1 year where we were slowly building. You know, like there was this one show called 16 Baris from Malaysia, the biggest rapper from Malaysia, Joe Flizzow. Like, he gave me an opportunity to be on his rap Cypher show, where I got a chance to rap, and it was it's a cool concept. There's a Cypher concept where each episode has 3 rappers. So my best friend Faris and I were given an opportunity to be on that show, and this was the earliest. We didn't even have a song out yet, and that episode went viral, and that, like, you know, stepped things up for us. And then finally we got our first show booking, and finally, like,
First public show.
First public
where
show.
people pay money and come.
People pay money and
So
come.
you're like a
free
regular
show.
artist.
Yeah, like where I'm getting paid to perform. Like, then slowly that started to become like
So
a thing.
what crowd came the first time? Like, I'm thinking,
Wow.
because
First show.
you're what? You're 20 around that time.
21.
21.
21. Yeah.
So you'd attract the younger crowd. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's rap, etc. But who would come?
It was actually very fortunate that when I started, I was already rolling with some big boys, like established, very popular
Artists,
rappers, artists from Malaysia, from around the region. So that kind of gave me a very strong backing. Like,
So you're
I was
already in the outfit, and they've got their fans coming in.
And I got signed very quick. I must say that also, you know.
Yeah.
If I'm an independent artist trying to do everything myself, and I'm new.
But there are no Indian artists. You're the only Indian origin artist, right? More or less.
There are the Tamil rappers.
There were?
In Southeast Asia. In
Okay.
Malaysia, there's a lot of Tamil rappers.
Okay.
Just a nice mix.
Okay.
But the usual path for any musician, as far as I know, is like, oh, you're a singer-songwriter, and you've been doing it for years, and you've been pushing your art independently for years. And one song blows up, and a label finds out that, oh, there's this guy named so-and-so, call that guy, sign him. So typically...
So that's the movement.
That's the blueprint.
Yeah.
My blueprint was like, we put out a freestyle and we got signed immediately, because I feel, I mean, looking back, it's just something that has never happened before.
So who did that? Which record label was able to see the potential?
So actually, one of my closest collaborators, one of the closest people in my life, his name is Zeke. He started a record label named MO3 Records. And he was the first person to sign me. And then he brought me to Malaysia to meet his partners that were working with Sony Music at that time. So he connected the dots to there, and then got us a record deal.
So when you talk about manifestation, these are all important things that happen along the way as well.
Yeah.
Because if this doesn't happen, this guy doesn't turn up, doesn't sign you.
God,
Yeah.
when I think about that, it trips me out. It freaks me out every single time, because you can be talented, you can be hardworking, you can meet the right person, but you need to meet the right person at the right time
fair.
at the right place.
Yeah.
And if those 3 things don't happen, no matter how hardworking you are, no matter how talented you are, it doesn't move the needle. So
then what you're saying is destiny plays a very, very important
So
role.
what are we talking about here? So like, how? Like, when I look back,
Don't forget,
and
there are a lot of
ask
people who
me-
didn't make it. Also, not to spit on anyone, but there are a lot of people who were talented and perhaps don't make it.
Exactly, bro. Like, I look up to so many people. I'm inspired by so many people that I grew up like fascinated by their journey, fascinated by their paths. But it is evident, no? Like, certain things happen in a certain way for certain people, and you, after a certain point, you can't understand how does that work. Like, so people always, like, in an interview or something, they're like, oh, young Raja, like, they're trying to make it seem like, how do you do it? Like, tell us how you did it. I'm like, bro, if you want me to be honest, I did this. This is what I tell you what I did. This is what I did.
Yeah.
3% is what I did.
That's that. No, you're selling yourself short.
No.
Not 3%,
Okay.
but let's say you did about 50%, but you need the other 50% to come through.
Yeah.
Which is beyond your control.
Way beyond the
Yeah,
control.
yeah.
It's like so beyond the control
Yeah,
that
yeah.
when I think about it, it's insane. It's so insane. So, and this also is a concept, no? The same concepts that I learned from The Secret of how the universe.
Will conspire to help.
Yes. And it's like the saying was, smile at the universe and the universe smiles back.
Right.
You know, it's like what you are trying to put out, what you seek is trying to find you, like that kind of a vibe.
And we should tell the older people listening, if you don't have teeth, still smile. Because
Yes.
many of us keep our teeth in a jar and then the smile is not noticed and
Oh,
all
shit.
that. But the universe will not judge.
Universe won't
not
judge.
judgy about the quality of the smile.
Yes.
Listen, Mr. Young, we have to go into a small break apparently.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but when we come back, we'll get you to do a little rapping.
Yo,
Yeah?
please.
He's here. He's hot. He costs a lot of money. Charges a lot, right, for
Really?
private concerts?
Ooh, not that much.
The big
man.
thing in India.
Really?
Big market, yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm
Some
trying.
rich family will say that we want this guy, but yeah,
That's the dream.
Yeah.
One day. I hope I
They
get.
pay you out of control, and they're all your fans, so it'll all be great.
If anybody that's watching this, if you're interested to book me for a private event or birthday party, perhaps,
Yeah.
let me know.
But there's a rider. You have to wear only your shoes,
Oh,
bro. This is India. We apna jo parampara as we call it is very different.
only my shoes.
Only shoes.
Only.
Rap on that, brother. We'll take a break.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus sits down with Formula E star Jehan Daruwala to talk about his exciting experiences in racing along with Sachin Tendulkar and his friendship with Lando Norris. On A Century of Stories India, Kunal explores the iconic Bollywood classic Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge and its profound impact on the Indian diaspora as the first film to truly resonate with overseas audience. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam Gupta chats with Sheetal Chokshi, founder of Unpack Research, as they explore the world of qualitative analysis, key industry trends, and the evolving landscape of market research in India. Folks, if you like our show, spread the word. Tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media as we are IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on YouTube by their show name, so do look out for them and have fun watching. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: IDFC First Bank, Axis Mutual Fund, SBI Mutual Fund.
All right, back here with this youngest rapper in India at the moment, and we're dissing on the countries that we represent.
Whoa.
I'll tell you why I'm a Singapore fan. I'm a fan because I'm all about punctuality. That's the most important thing for me. After that, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I just come to work and then I don't know.
I was like, okay, there's a lot of things about my city that I take for granted, you know, like public transport or like the cleanliness or something.
Yeah.
There's a few
Like
things.
nobody
that,
shouting, "Benjot!" That doesn't happen in Singapore.
Bro,
Nobody raises their voice.
They fine you, bro. They
Yeah.
fine you if you
Yeah.
spit on the floor. Like, you can't
There's
chew.
no chewing gum.
There's no chewing gum, bro. Like, so can you imagine how it's like, to me, Singapore is like a giant office.
Yeah.
The whole city.
It is.
White lights,
Yeah,
bright
yeah.
white lights, like the emergency room lights. The whole city is like that for me.
I get worried in Singapore.
Sterile. It's very sterile.
I think that's harsh a little bit, but I get worried when I'm in the toilet. Are they watching us? Because it looks like everything is like being watched, right? So I'm in the toilet. Please, government, don't watch now. You know, it's like that kind of thing. Did you have to go to the army and all that?
I did. So every
Tell people
Singaporean-
about that. They don't know. I think you guys have to do 2 years.
Yes, 2 years.
Yeah.
So every Singaporean citizen, male, has to go for the army. 2 years of army.
How was
national
that?
service.
Were you-
So I was very lucky, man, because I had started acting early, you know. So I had
Yeah.
quite a nice portfolio. So I was able to use that to audition for this unit, the special unit that they have in the army called it was called Music and Drama Company then.
Oh,
So it is a army unit,
so you're performing in the army as well.
and they have performers in that unit. So they have singers, dancers, choreographers.
What's the
tech
point of
guys.
having a singer at the front when the
So-
guys are being shot? I'm only going to do, yaar, ek gana sunao. I mean, I think that's not right.
No, at first I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
how does this work? I was surprised to find
Yeah.
out that the army has a unit like that. But turns out, you know, all of this defense like units, ministries, like
The functions?
the prime minister, like the offices.
The
different-
functions,
different-
yeah.
Functions,
Like
yeah?
we have.
Yeah, all
the military band will
Yeah,
play
yeah,
for all
exactly.
the ceremonial stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So they need artists.
But
they
you have
need
to do all that.
Yeah, so I was the host. So
Oh, nice.
So they appointed me as
But you
the
can't
host.
rap.
At that time,
Could you
wasn't-
rap?
I rapped for my audition to get in. Like
Yeah,
they
but could you
picked me.
rap with the ceremonial stuff happening, or they'll?
There was a couple of shows where they had performances,
Yeah.
and the song would have like a quick rap section, and they actually that was how it started for me. They gave me the opportunity that Rajit can rap, make him rap this part. So
Yeah.
I would host the show. I would go backstage, change, and come out, do a little rap verse, and then go back, change, and then come back and
So you
host.
go from army fatigues into this.
Yeah. So I'm counting my blessings, bro, because that was probably one of the best experiences ever, because 2 years while all my friends are in the jungle going through the regular army experience of like, you learn how to be a soldier, all that. I didn't.
Did you know how to shoot and all that?
I didn't go through that experience.
You
So
didn't
all
have-
my friends.
You didn't have to use guns.
No, we didn't have to use guns at all. We didn't have.
So
that
if we're in trouble,
typical-
and I say my friends had 2 years in the army,
Oh, just
then
come
what
and
are we
rap
gonna
for you.
do? Like if 10 guys attack us, I'll be like, Rajib,
No, bro. It's like the other units are huge, man. Like
Yeah.
music and drama companies, like quite a lot smaller than the rest of the guys.
I think that makes sense in defense spending and all that. Yeah, we'll just keep a little bit for the drama company. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was fascinating because I didn't realize how people didn't know about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know about the existence of a company like that, even back home.
But what you said, when you think about it, every culture in the world will have that ceremonial side. That's very important also. Back in the day when the fights and wars used to take place, the drama was very important, for example, even in battle. Because they
Absolutely,
would
man.
help
Yeah.
raise morale.
Yeah.
And he had to be alive, otherwise you feel you've lost the war. I speak from experience. I've fought in 3 wars. The Malabar Hill Valkeshwar wars of early Mumbai, which nobody knows about. I'm just kidding. You crazy? I can't even raise my finger. How am I going to do anything? Oh, listen, we'll run out of time, so let's quickly get into all the important moments in your career. These are important that we have seen online. I'm sure you may not agree. One, of course, we already sort of talked about performing in Mumbai,
Yes.
opening for 50. 50, how do you pronounce it?
50 Cent.
50.
50 Cent.
50. And then you also went on the Jimmy Fallon show, which is fantastic.
Yeah, man. Actually, he just played my song, and he actually told people to not play my song.
Meaning?
Yeah, he was like, don't play this song. So there's this segment on his show called Do Not Play. So he picks songs from around the world to make fun of it.
Oh,
But
got
not
it.
in a serious make fun.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
like,
get it.
cheeky.
Yeah.
So he picked my song. I don't know how that happened. Somebody sent him my song Mami.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard Mami, but there's one section of the song that I purposely did it like that so that people might,
Pick it up.
pick it up.
Yeah.
So it just goes like Mami, 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 all the way for like, I don't know how many times. It's just a lot. But it's dope though. Like,
Yeah.
You should check it out.
Yeah.
I think it's dope. Put it out. Somebody sent the song to him. He picked it up and he played it on his show. He was like, oh, Singaporean rapper, young, the whole thing. So he gave me a proper like mention and shout out. And he told everybody to not play my song.
Yeah. So it became popular overnight.
But immediately what everybody did, they played my song.
Yeah.
So suddenly on YouTube, on my Mami music video, all these comments are coming in. Oh, Jimmy Fallon sent me here. Oh, Jimmy Fallon told me to not play the song, but I actually love the song. And it was one of the craziest moments in my career so far, man. Like that day, when I saw that photo of this lady just sent me an Instagram like message. Just a picture, no message, no hi, nothing. Just a photo of her in her living room watching a TV. Just a picture of Jimmy Fallon holding a different cover of my song Mami. That's not the official cover.
Yeah.
They
made
worked on
one.
They made
They made
something
one.
else,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
my face was in there, and he was holding.
You could have sued him for making an unofficial cover.
Hey,
See, they're not thinking Indian. You're too Singaporean. We would have sued him. We love him, but we still sue him.
I wish.
Paisa to mila.
I wish
Right?
we were having this conversation 3 years ago.
I
man.
know.
The boat might have left.
Ah. Jimmy Fallon would be stuck doing this podcast because he's got no job left in America. Yeah. Screw you, Jim. I'm just kidding. Play his song. Yeah. So it blew up.
He was just, I was like, what?
So he's holding it.
It's insane.
He's
When I
holding
see
it.
that photo, and I immediately just start
Did
crying.
you send something to him? Did you send a thank you?
Yeah, I posted on Twitter, and then then Twitter, he followed me back,
Yeah.
and he dropped a message. He said, actually, we loved the song, and we decided to play it for the end credits and all
Yeah.
that. Like, keep it up. He sent a sweet
Not
message.
bad, yeah?
It was great, man. That was
This is globalization at its best, right?
Yeah.
You're in Singapore, you're doing
Yeah.
your thing somewhere in
Yeah.
LA or wherever they
and
shoot
it was
that
so
show.
interesting because he was technically, people were saying it as like, oh, he's making fun of you. Why are you like excited or whatever? So it immediately became like a PR like buzz. Like
And
some
also
reporters
fans can get protective.
Yeah.
So those who take it seriously will be like, how dare you? And
Yeah.
so
So-
your army starts growing.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like there were news reporters, they were trying to twist the narrative. Like, oh, aren't you angry that he's
so
da-da-da?"
sweet. I love our news reporters. If nobody's going to war, they're going to discuss something. Yeah.
I'm like, guys, it's a glass half empty mindset, man. Why would you think that I would be upset? Like he introduced me on the biggest
It's
show
also a piece of comedy.
bro. Yeah,
It's just,
exactly.
it's just being
man.
funny. Yeah.
So it was interesting, man. That was definitely.
Okay, we need to quickly jump to the next one, which is you actually work with this guy, with the legendary Snoop Dogg, whose name is spelled wrong. It's D-O-G and he spells it D-O-G-G.
D-O-G-G.
I don't know.
Actually, he was originally called Snoop Doggy Dogg, his first name. And then
is that in the bedroom? Because
Snoop Doggy
why
Dogg.
would you call him Snoop Doggy Dogg? Yeah.
Same reason why somebody else would call themselves Lil Pump or like some funny names, bro.
There's some funny names.
50 Cent.
But again, talk about survival. This guy's also, 3 or 4 decades of being around and still relevant.
Still relevant.
I mean, in the damn Olympics, he was all over the place.
Oh my
in
gosh.
Paris.
I feel like Snoop Dogg is like the blueprint of how somebody can start off as a gangster rapper. Somebody can start off being put in a box, right? You are this type. Yeah. And then they show the world that, hey, fuck that. I'll show you what I'm about.
So he's always
on all these shows. He's doing a cooking show. He's at the Olympics.
So from anti-establishment, he's gone to establishment.
Bro,
he's a guy in a cooking show. Yeah. He's a guy in the art show. He's a guy in the Olympics. Yeah.
And I'm so fascinated by that because that blueprint shows how you
want to go that way?
I would love, man. I mean, my dream is, I'm doing music, I'm doing movies, like I'm doing fashion stuff, like all these things that I love. And
but that's the new world, isn't it?
Yeah,
you
definitely.
Can't, even though you're a rapper, you're everywhere.
Yeah, thanks to the internet, right? It was thanks to the internet. If it wasn't for internet, I don't think I'll be here. We'd be here. It's insane, right? Like it changed the game.
Bro, you got on to Jimmy Fallon. Don't talk about us. You're just making us look bad.
Hey, come on, man.
It's like you had a free weekend. I got nothing this weekend. I'm here.
No, bro. I mean,
so tell us.
I didn't go to Jimmy Fallon. He just played my song.
No, you're on Jimmy Fallon. He's mentioned you. How many people you grew up with in school in Singapore on the best talk show in the world? This doesn't happen. But tell us about the collaboration.
Yes. So at that time, I was signed to Def Jam. I was part of the Def Jam Southeast Asia team, and Snoop Dogg was putting out his album, and he wanted to release a global edition where he picks out certain Def Jam artists from around the world.
Oh, nice.
Def Jam is all around the world. And all these different labels, Def Jam labels from around the world were pitching to him like, these are all
take
the
our
artists.
Take our guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think he chose like a few, like maybe 3 or 4 out of all the artists that were pitched. And I was one of the chosen ones. And one of they just sent me a couple of records for me to choose. And I think they sent me 2 records for me to choose. I chose one. And we did the whole thing remote. You know what's the most insane part of this story?
Yeah.
When apparently, I mean, I'm sure I can share this on record. It's a story that I was told this by my then manager from the label, that when they were pitching to Snoop and his team, they were playing a sizzle reel of me as Young Raja, the artist, putting all my highlights together, all of my best songs together, like a 30-second sizzle reel for Snoop Dogg to watch, Snoop Dogg's team to watch. So my team, they were all in that call, and they saw Snoop Dogg's reaction, like how he reacted. Turns out, at that time, he had a PA that was a Tamil girl that has been already telling him about me.
See, you talk about manifestation and karma and all this, and the universe conspiring.
And my then manager is calling me, is like, you won't believe what just happened. When we played your sizzle reel, Snoop Dogg was like, hey, isn't this the guy? Isn't this your guy? You were telling me about him. So that might have been the reason why the feature happened, man. Like,
that's a story.
How do you explain it? No,
I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he happened to have a Tamil PA, like what, that knew about me. They're based out in LA. Like, it's crazy.
Gotta do this for the peeps. Push, Young Raja.
Yeah, man. So that collaboration happened. I recorded it in Singapore.
You can speak to him?
It over. Unfortunately, I didn't. But I hope I can, bro, one day.
Yeah.
I hope I do one day. He's Snoop Dogg, man.
Is he one of your favorites?
He's one of my favorites. Yeah. One of my
I think he transcends rap. He's just an iconic figure of our generation.
One of the first albums I ever bought was a Snoop Dogg album. So Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Eminem.
Top 3.
Top 3 for me in a sense because they opened the world for me. Like if it wasn't for these 3 artists, I would have never known about Kanye or Lil Wayne or Notorious B.I.G., Tupac. Like it was the gateway for me.
What about Baba Sehgal?
Baba Sehgal.
Have you heard him?
Baba Sehgal.
He's our Indian rapper.
Really?
Yeah. Back in the 90s, he was the first guy to rap in that I remember. Maybe I'm wrong. But the first, am I wrong? I'm not wrong, right? It is Baba Sehgal.
For real?
Yeah. Wow. You got to check him out.
I would love
He's an Indian guy, but he's a little older than you. Electronic engineer and all the usual normal story, and then switched to rap.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting guy. Yeah.
Indian hip hop is fascinating, man.
It's growing.
It's
Now
growing.
Suddenly we've got like all kinds.
Oh my gosh, is one of the craziest things ever. Like
Which
these
reminds
last
me-
5 years,
Yeah. What about A.R. Rahman?
bro. Oh my gosh, A.R. Rahman. I have somebody that I have to talk about in a different context. He's also one of my superheroes in a
Yeah,
sense where,
yeah.
I mean, of course, I mentioned
Just-
these names. These are the rappers, the hip hop artists
Yeah.
that impacted me and shaped me into who I am today. A.R. Rahman, he is all-time greatest of all time for me. Because up till the age of 11, it was his music, period. Like, that's all I heard. Because my sisters, my mom would be watching Sun TV. We're always watching movies. My dad would always, he's a cinema buff. He's always listening to radio songs. 99% of the time, we are their family members are all singing along.
But the only thing for me is because he goes past Tamil, he goes into all
Yeah.
the other languages,
Yes.
Hindi, mainstream, English, everything, the
Yeah.
West. He's everywhere, right? But there was no rap. I can't remember any rap.
Yeah, no. There was one called Petta Rap. Have you heard it?
There was.
There was one song
Which
which I
he's
only found
written.
out much later. Yeah, I think he produced that.
Or he's collaborated
He
on
made
it.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was
So what
not
was-
much of a hip hop element.
Right.
But A.R. Rahman was like the only prominent figure in my life, all the way until 11 years old, and it was only his music that I kept hearing in my household. So
Right.
there's so many of his songs that it's in my heart, you know. Like I probably would have heard it so many times. My sisters probably were singing it, you know, when I was a kid. So that was what music was for me. So when I watched A.R. Rahman live in Singapore, and I got a chance to go say hi to him and take a photo with him. And actually last year, he FaceTimed me, and he wanted me to like rap for one of the movies that he was working on. Actually, that was the first touch point that I
Yeah,
had with
yeah.
A.R. Rahman. So it was crazy, man. Oh my God, he calls me out of nowhere. They're working on this fight sequence, and he just wanted me to write and record a rap, and I did, and it ended up in the movie. But that was also a remote. We did the whole thing remotely.
When the phone call's over, with the Snoop Dogg, when the thing is over, the collaboration, do you ever think to yourself, man, how does this happen to me? Because one day you're a 10-year-old kid listening to A.R. Rahman, he's
That's
the
what
one
I'm talking
voice.
about. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I had written years ago that I will meet A.R. Rahman one day. I wrote that. I wrote that.
well before you started rapping.
Well before I started rapping.
And it's happened.
And it happened. Like, I wrote that I will get signed to a record label.
Do you have that?
It's insane. It's insane, bro.
Okay, I'm going to write, I want a bigger, let's see what happens. I know what I'll do with it, but, I'll just get it.
Like, I don't know how it works, man. I don't know. Like, this topic, people could think that it's very like, very, how to say?
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm
Cynical
saying?
people will say, what the hell
Yeah,
are you talking about? Everybody
you
says
are-
positive thought and all
I
that.
am sure.
But I think
that
it's all about the intensity of your thought. It's
Yeah.
like you really believe when you're just a nobody kid walking in some silly school and you're just thinking to yourself, I'm going to be something.
Yeah,
you
it's
really
so
believe it is
delusional,
different.
no?
It's not
Like,
delusional.
It's like it
Delusional
could be
is-
borderline. They could see it as
they could see it as
he's
delusional,
delusion, right?
But you believe in yourself. See,
Yeah.
there's got to be some self-belief attached to this whole theory.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And
strong
it's so
self-belief.
fascinating, right?
Yeah.
I find it as like, to me, it is one of the most fascinating things about life. And I can't stress this enough. And I personally feel like I can't talk about this enough. Every opportunity that I get, even with my own family, my friends, I share this with them. I'm like, bro, you saw it with your own eyes. Like, you were there with me. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how are these things happening and aligning and manifesting? It's bizarre, man. Like,
So
I feel like
what does the family and the friends do now? In the TAM population in Singapore, they will like get him for free and all stuff.
what is that? Like,
You to perform in their weddings
so
and
there
shows.
would be-
That'd
I
be a
have
bit of
my
a-
shows. Yeah, I get all my family members, get everybody to come.
Yeah.
My parents always want to come watch me perform.
Mhm.
So
All very proud now.
yeah, man.
Yeah?
My parents, man. Like, shout out to my parents. They are very happy. They're in Singapore now.
Amazing.
Haven't seen them for a while. Miss them.
What a fabulous story. But I think the best part of your story is the fact that, again, maybe it's a Tamil thing, this unassuming quality, which I love in people. You don't take yourself too seriously. And secondly, the fact that what you sort of thought about, it sort of really happened.
Yeah.
You're not like a fairy tale.
Yeah, it
And
sounds. It
including
feels
these great
like a fairy
names.
tale.
These names are ridiculous for a guy far away from Jimmy Fallon, a Snoop Dogg, and
It's
A.R. Rahman.
insane.
I mean, how? I mean, it's just...
Tamil boy, you have to understand that
Yeah.
the Tamil population in Singapore, if I'm not wrong, is 5% or 4% or something. So it's like minority of
minorities, yeah.
in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Smallest country in Southeast Asia, far from motherland is India, where they're from. So
Right.
it don't make sense to me, bro. Like, talent is talent, hard work is hard work, passion is passion,
And karma is karma.
and karma is
It's
karma.
gotta be something.
Right.
Yeah.
So touch wood, like really, like, there's so many things that I feel like like whatever I'm sharing, I'm sure there are things in your life that if you think about, you're like, wait, what the fuck? That's crazy. I practice this every day, and it's something that I don't ever want to stop doing, is to like write down the things that I'm grateful for, that allows me to remember these things, because I feel like human nature, we are so quick to forget, like this life that I have
Or take
now.
it for granted.
Yeah. Like, I remember when I was 14 years old, dreaming like, oh my God, I really want this thing. I want to be in front of camera. I want to do this. And I know that whatever I'm experiencing right now is exactly the dream. Or even crazier.
Without being arrogant.
Yeah, without being arrogant. It's actually
Yeah.
crazier than what I dreamed.
No.
Right? But sometimes when something small happens, like, oh, we had a show and the show got cancelled. And I'm like, wow, upset.
Yeah.
Get in that zone where I'm like, yeah.
And
And
then
I'm
you-
like, hey, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Pause. This is actually insane. So turn
grateful, yeah.
turn that table around. Like, when I start thinking about these little moments where if those moments didn't align, I wouldn't be here getting to live life, getting to experience life in this way. Remember, like, there was this quote that I saw. It's like, remember what you want. Like, 5 years ago, I forgot that quote, man. It was a beautiful saying.
Just paraphrase it.
It's like, remember who you were 5 years ago,
Yeah.
or something like
Never
that.
forget where you come from, basically.
Yeah, something like that. Because growing up, you have all these things that, you have all these aspirations, thoughts, and all that. Sometimes you may not realize when things happen, Sometimes it just feels like, it happened. And then you're on to the next. What's next? Okay, I got my car. Okay,
I don't know about you, but sometimes I wake up and I don't even know I've grown up. Like, when did the growing up happen?
It's like just like that. 7 years went by.
Too fast.
Yeah, just like that.
Horrible. That's why I go play with kids until the police are called. Just kidding.
You say the most out of pocket shit,
Yeah.
bro. That's wild.
Okay, we've got some questions for you. Dilip R has asked a question. The collab with Bangalore Tamil rapper Killa K
Yes.
was fire. Podu Mike was so fun. Did Killa K teach you Bangalore Tamil slang?
Yes.
That's another world altogether.
Bangalore Tamil slang. Va Patel, na Patel, va voy. Like all these kind of sayings, a couple of phrases. But I know a handful, just these few. But
Yeah.
it's always fun hanging out with them in Bangalore. It is Tamil, but I never knew
So how do
that.
they take to you, these established rappers from our part of the world?
What is that? Sorry?
When you come here and deal with our rappers, how do they take to you?
I think it took some time for us to properly connect, just have a proper friendship. I think one thing that was great that I did many years ago was when I got the ball rolling, okay, I'm a full-time rapper now. I started looking out and started finding who are the other rappers that are also doing what I'm doing or from India and all that. So I followed them on Instagram and a lot of them followed me back. So a lot of the rappers that I met in person,
You have a relationship,
relationship, we had a relationship, a friendship on Instagram for like 5 years.
And Instagram friendships are real.
It's real. Hey man, like the first collaboration that I had with an Indian rapper was Prabdeep.
Yeah.
And that whole thing happened, we just show mutual respect and
From
love
Insta.
for Instagram.
Yeah.
And Kevin Killer K also, somebody that I followed because I'm like, wow, young kid, up and coming, so dope, so fresh. I want to support this guy. I want to know what he's going to come up with. That was a genuine connection, a genuine relationship. And it always lays the foundation in a way where if the collaboration happens, great. If we make a song, great. If we don't make a song, that's fine. We're still friends. That's how it has been for me. So because I came in with that kind of energy, I feel like I've had a nice experience.
A nice ride so far.
Yeah. A lot of the Indian rappers that I've met so far, it's been all love. It's been love and respect and
Until you become
open
too,
arms.
Once you become too big, we'll see what happens. As you get bigger and bigger.
I hope it don't change, man. I hope it doesn't change. But I
Snoop
love it
Dogg
here,
is
man.
fine. A.R. Rahman is fine.
Yeah.
All your legendary, the guys you look up to have, they haven't really changed.
Yeah,
They're basically the same, I would think. What's the scene with Def Jam Association? How does it work? You guys are signed to the label. Hanuman Kine and other artists are doing this Def Jam thing as well.
I was signed to Def Jam.
Yeah.
Def Jam Southeast Asia. I'm currently signed to Mass Appeal.
Okay, so you can't be on two record deals.
No.
There must be a way.
But Podemic came out under Def Jam India. They had released that song.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's great that you talk about Def Jam because that was the family that I had.
Like the collab.
That was the label that I was a part of for almost 5 years, actually. Def Jam Southeast Asia. And then I made that transition to become independent for about 8 months.
So will you start your own label now?
I was trying to start my own label when I was independent. Beginning of this year, that didn't really quite work out.
But in the fullness of time, is that the next step?
Yes, I want to start a studio, not really just a music label, but I want to have like an agency, like a creative agency / studio, where we're able to do more than just music. That's definitely one of those things in my bucket list.
Because you're young. I'm saying 10 years down the line, you'll definitely have your own label and everything else.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
For sure. Something that is a bit crazy. It's like one of those things where I know that in my 30s, 40s, maybe I might try to do something like that. But I'm so glad, man. Like, we started working with Mass Appeal. So Mass Appeal signed me recently. I just put out a song called High Fashion 10 days ago, my first song with them. We have a couple of songs coming up. I'm excited, man. It's a brand new chapter, trying to see how far we can bring this, like where else can we go, what else can we do. You see, coming back to the previous topic of how like the human mind is like, once you get it, what's next? The desire is like, so it's very hard to sometimes keep track of where you were, where you're going. This quote, bro, I love this quote. It's like, you never know where you're going if you forget where you came from. You can never know where you're going if you forgot where you came from. Like, it's all connected, no?
It works differently in Mumbai because we get lost a lot. Because they change one ways, there's traffic issues, construction going on. So that's a little different for us. It's a more geographical quote. Yeah, I got to tell you.
It's a literal quote.
Yeah, it's a literal quote. I apologize. But before we wind up, it's been a pleasure talking to you, young sir. Honestly, and I think very candid. I really enjoy conversations where people speak from the heart and just tell us a little bit about. I love the manifestation thing. I'm a bit of a believer in that as well. I think a lot of people are cynical about it, but I do believe, and especially for younger people who are sitting on whatever, not to be an artist, but even if you're a doctor or whatever you're going to do, just have more self-belief and you know, just what have you got to lose?
Yeah.
You got to back yourself.
Exactly.
Right?
Put it out in the world, man.
And I, from what I gathered, there was not too much profanity also.
No.
Yeah,
I try my best
to.
to
I can pick up Tamil bad words as well. Don't worry.
I don't put
none
profanity because my sister's kids, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's 9 kids.
Your
and
market
I'm the only uncle.
Everybody's market is different. They grow up in America, it's a different world altogether. Your market will always have that little bit, you're an Indian, just, you know.
I take great pride. I don't have that much. I don't have explicit language in my music.
But now we will abuse for the next 2 minutes as we say bye. What the fuck, man? What's
fuck, man.
Shit, man.
Let's get it all out here so that the music can stay clean.
Exactly. All right, bro. That was great.
Bro, thank you so
Thanks
much.
a lot. Yeah. My pleasure.
2011, I was making a film with Irfan Khan, and he had just come from shooting Life of Pi with Ang Lee, and he had come to the set, and I tried to impress him, and I'm saying, Irfan bhai, I'll shoot here for ye line yahan se lenge, फिर we'll cut wide, फिर इधर से ये करेंगे वगैरह. And he looked at me rolling his cigarette, and he's saying, boss, यार निखिल तूने बहुत अच्छी पिक्चर लिखी है, और तुषार बहुत अच्छा डायरेक्टर है, डीओपी है, मैं बहुत अच्छा एक्टर हूँ. तो एक काम करते हैं, मैं कैमरा के सामने
अपना काम करता हूँ,
वो काम करेगा, तू मॉनिटर में बैठ के मजे लूट. I love the word मजे लूट. He just said, just enjoy yourself, and if you're not getting it, if you're not getting what you want, come to me and tell me what you want. There was a guy, I remember him, and later on I mean karma, right? Because he had to work with me only. There's a guy called Siddharth Hussain from Aaj Tak.
Nice mix of names.
Right?
Siddharth Hussain. I like it.
From Aaj Tak, right? And he's standing outside the building with his camera crew and pointing to my flat and saying, यहाँ पे निखिल अडवाणी रहता है जिसने आपके पैसे की बर्बादी की है. उसको उसके घर पे पत्थर फेंको or something like that.
Wow, that's a bit much.
It was mad.
I know the Puri family. I'll make a phone call.